Hi folks, Steve the Hurricane here, and for today's episode of A Drink with the Hurricane, we're going to talk about when do I bring on more office staff as I'm scaling and growing my home care business. Cheers. A Drink with the Hurricane, the home care sales and marketing talk show that discusses all things growing your home care business. So today's episode of A Drink with the Hurricane comes from a question that was dropped in our question box at the last Hurricane Marketing Bootcamp. And if you haven't been to one, I highly recommend you join one because they are the event of our industry. And this is a question that I do get asked, I want to say somewhat frequently, from many of the people who follow us and watch the videos. Like, when do I bring on more staff? Who should it be? And so I'm actually going to pull out our rapid results system. This is one of the products that we feature here at Hurricane Marketing Enterprises. And in the rapid results system, there's actually what I call the blueprint for success, and it's how to scale and build a $3 million home care business. One of the last parts of this blueprint here, and I love this because this gives you everything you need: timeline, what's it going to cost you, where do you go for the referral numbers, everything is all in here. But one of the last parts of this is on the staff itself, and it specifically talks about when do you hire new staff and who should they be, and so on. And the overview of that I will share with you in this video here is, if I'm brand spanking new today, and I just got my license, and I own a home care company, it should be a two-person operation from the get-go. There should be one person who's executive level, doing all the high-level functioning things, like the managing of the finances, accounts receivables, accounts payables, the marketing to develop the relationships with the referral sources to get the referrals to come in, because we don't have any referrals coming in. We don't have a presence, so I have to go out there and do it myself. And I'd even go as far as to doing the interviewing for the caregivers. Now, those tasks that I just said, although it seems like that's a lot for one person to be responsible for, well, remember, this is a brand new business. There is no business yet. So one person can handle that. Now, we have the second person who's more of an administrative assistant type role, receptionist, a secretary, an executive assistant, whatever you want to call the individual. They're the person who's answering the phones. They're the ones who are handling inquiries that may come in, whether it's an inquiry for service or an inquiry for a job. They're the ones who are doing the scheduling. They're the ones that are doing all of the office stuff, because that is where the person is going to spend the majority of their work time, so that the owner, operator, can get out and spend 15, 20 hours on the road drumming up business. Now, I do not recommend bringing on another person to your organization until that business has reached at least 500 weekly billable hours. Why do I like to wait until then? Well, there's a cost associated with hiring somebody. And when you hire a person, you don't want to hire somebody to fire them, right? You want to hire somebody with the intention of that this person's going to work with me for a very long time. And so if I'm investing in paying this person, and you got to compensate people depending on what position it is, you're going to pay people anywhere from $30,000 to $80,000, right? Depending on what the position is. So you have to be able to make sure that you have the resources, financial, to pay this person week in and week out before you hire them. That's why I want you to be at 500 weekly billable hours, because I know that 500 weekly billable hours is like 10 to 12 clients. And if you have 10 to 12 clients, an owner and an assistant can handle that, and the revenue that supports that should be enough for everybody to be okay, and then you can bring on that third person. From that point forward, I really recommend every 500 weekly billable hours, you bring another person into your organization, because 500 billable hours is roughly 10 to 15 new clients on top of what you are already servicing. So it's going to require more caregivers, it's going to require more scheduling, it's going to require more billing, it's going to require more payroll, and there's going to be more time needed to do the tasks that were easily done when it was a smaller organization. So you'll need more folks for it. And so it could be scheduler, could be marketing rep at some point. When a business is doing over $1 million, that's when we bring on a marketing rep so that the owner doesn't have to do the marketing. Or what I really recommend is the owner continue to do the marketing, because the owners I find are more successful at marketing than most marketing reps are. But then you hire more office staff to allow you to be out there on the road so you can be as effective as humanly possible. So as you're continually doing this, eventually your scheduler recruiter may be one person who eventually splits and then just does scheduling, because now you're managing 40 clients. And then you have a recruiter because you need to constantly have a wave of new caregivers coming in to deal with the attrition rate and turnover. So as you continue to scale and grow, the magic number for me that I recommend is 500 weekly billable hours. That's when you bring on a new person to your organization, and you, depending on where you see the holes in your business, will depend on who that person's going to be. So there you have it. That's our topic. If you want a rapid result system, you get a free ticket to the boot camp. So look into one of those. We can help you with it. And if you're having challenges, like if you're trying to scale and grow your business and you've been stagnant for a while, or you're just getting started and you don't want to take 2 or 3 years to get to a point that you could be at in 6 months, pick up the phone, give us a call, and let us give you everything you need to blow away the competition.